everyone. Today, we're going to explore a fundamental concept in biology that helps us organize and understand the incredible diversity of life. We're going to answer the question, what is a species? Our planet is home to millions of different types of organisms. A key question in biology is, how do scientists classify them? How do we determine that a frog belongs to a distinct group, separate from a lizard? In simple scientific terms, a species is a group of similar organisms that can reproduce with each other to produce fertile offspring. Fertile means that the offspring, the children, can themselves have babies. So, members of the same species naturally reproduce only with other members of their own species, continuing the line. Now, here is a crucial point. Just because organisms are the same species, it doesn't mean they are identical. Look at all these cats. They are all the same species, but they look very different. These differences in appearance, and even in behaviors, are called variation. Sometimes, things get interesting. Animals from different species can occasionally have babies together, especially in controlled environments like zoos. These babies are called hybrids. A very famous example is the mule. A mule is the hybrid offspring of a male donkey and a female horse. This brings us to the most important part of our species definition. Can two mules have a baby? The answer is no. Mules are sterile. This means they cannot produce their own offspring. So even though a horse and a donkey can produce a mule, that mule is not fertile. This is the key test. Since the offspring of the donkey and the horse is sterile, then donkeys and horses belong to different species. What is the tool that scientists uses to identify species? Scientists encounter a tremendous diversity of life. A fundamental task in biology is to accurately identify and classify organisms. But with so many species, how do we begin? We use a logical, step-by-step tool called a dichotomous key. The term dichotomous means divided into two parts. A dichotomous key is a tool for identification. It presents a series of paired, contrasting statements based on observable characteristics. At each step, you choose the statement that accurately describes the organism, leading you to the next step until identification is achieved. This method uses binary choices, yes or no, present or absent, to narrow down possibilities efficiently, much like a flowchart. Let's use the key to identify this organism. Step 1. Observe the organism carefully. Does it have wings? Correct. It does have wings. Now, at step 2, we examine the wings. Are they covered with black spots? Yes, they are. The key identifies this organism as a ladybug. We have successfully classified it using observable evidence. Now you are ready to answer some questions. Okay, let's look at our first clue. We have two varieties of cat, a Siamese cat and a Manx cat, but they both belong to the same species. The question asks us to complete this definition. Animals that belong to the same species are able, blank, together, to produce, blank, offspring. The key idea here is reproduction. Animals of the same species can interbreed. So the first blank is to breed. Now, what kind of offspring? They must be able to produce young themselves, meaning they must be fertile. So the second blank is fertile. So the complete definition is, animals that belong to the same species can breed together to produce fertile offspring. Remember that word fertile. It's crucial. Now let's test that definition. Here we have 4 giraffes with different patterns. Which 2 sentences prove they are all the same species? Let's look at the options. They all eat the same food. Nope. Different species can eat the same food. They can all breed with each other. Yes. This is the core of our definition. They share similar features. This might suggest it, but it doesn't prove it. They live in the same habitat. Again, different species can share a habitat. Their offspring would all be able to have young. And this is the other crucial part. Fertile offspring. So this is also correct. The 2 correct answers are the ones that directly relate to our breeding definition. Now, a straightforward one. The fossa is an endangered species of mammal. Explain the meaning of the term species. Based on what we've learned, we can say, a species is a group of similar organisms that can breed with one another to produce fertile offspring. This is the classic example that really makes the definition clear. Let's see what's happening. Donkeys breed with donkeys to make more donkeys. Horses breed with horses to make more horses. But when a donkey and a horse breed, they produce a mule. And here's the critical part. Mules mate but do not produce offspring. This means mules are infertile. So which of these are species? Let's tick the boxes. Donkeys and horses are separate species, because when they interbreed their offspring, the mule is not fertile. The mule is a hybrid, not a distinct species, because it cannot produce a new generation. Quick fire question. Write down the word used to describe differences within a species. Think about those giraffes with different patterns, or all the different dog breeds. The word for these differences is variation. So variation is the differences that exist between individuals of the same species. Finally, let's use a different skill, a classification key. This is a tool scientists use to identify organisms based on their characteristics. We need to use this key to identify the scientific names of these 5 mollusks, A through E. Let's work through it step by step. First, for each shell we ask, does it consist of one part or two? Looking at the diagram, A and C each look like a single piece, so they go to step 2. B, D, and E are clearly 2 hinged parts, so they go to step 3. Step 2. Is the shell spiral-shaped? C is very spiral-shaped, so C is Buckingham. A are not spiral-shaped, they are limpet-shaped, so it is a patella. Step 3. Is the shell long and thin? D is long, thin, and looks like a razor clam, so D is ensis. B and E are not long and thin, they go to step 4. Step 4. Does the shell have a small tuft of hairs? From the drawing, B have a little tuft at the hinge, so B is mytilus, a mytilus. E does not have a tuft, so it is ostrea. That's it for today. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay curious.